So people always ask me, Camden, how do I stay healthy? How do I lose fat and gain lean muscle mass at the same time? And my answer repeatedly is that it comes from the food that you eat throughout the day. And so for some reason, people have this kind of fear about cooking, is that they're not going to be confident, their food's not going to taste good. But once you start getting some practice in it and you start realizing all the different variations and customizations of these food, cooking becomes really, really fun. So I'm going to show you a few examples, or some foods that I would eat throughout the day. And we'll start with breakfast. I've got 5 egg whites, and just to spice it up, give it a little bit of flavor, I got some bacon, some ham, some cheese, and some spinach in there. A really good, low calorie but high protein breakfast. And then along with that, I've got this oatmeal. And a really cool thing I like to do about this oatmeal is when I take it out of the microwave, I'll actually put a scoop of peanut butter in there just to give the oatmeal, the bland oatmeal, the original oatmeal, the one without any preservatives, dyes, or artificial sugars in there. Use some oatmeal to use some peanut butter to spice it up a little bit. And then I got the fruit, I got the bananas, the strawberries, the blueberries, and the oranges for some extra taste. Now the reason why this breakfast is so good is because it's got a good mix of complex and simple carbohydrates. The simple carbohydrates are going to come from your fruit, and those digest and absorb in the body really quickly. Carbohydrates are the body's most readily source of glucose. It gets converted to glucose most efficiently, so that's what wakes us up. That's what our body uses for energy. So a good mix between very short-acting carbs and then very long-acting carbs, the complex carbohydrates, they take time to break down. So they supply your body with energy over time, which that is used to tie over into your afternoon snack or to your afternoon lunch. So a good mix between those types of carbohydrates are always critical in every single meal. And we did that perfectly. And then a cool little side note, coconut milk, it's actually got fewer calories than regular milk, and it's got about the same amount of protein, same other nutritional facts, just a little bit less calories. So if you want to watch that, that's something to take into account. Now for an afternoon snack, I've got some whole wheat bread. It's actually some honey whole wheat bread, and then some tuna with some mayonnaise, some spinach, and some cheese. So we've got the complex carbohydrates from the whole wheat bread, and then we've got the protein from the spinach. A little bit of fat from the cheese, but it's not so much. It's just about a cup, so with not too many calories. And then of course we have the simple carbohydrates. As we get tired throughout the day before lunch, we need something to give us some energy really quickly. So that's why we have the fruit in there, and then we have the bread to tie us over until lunch. And when we get to lunch, we have a few different options that you can go for. Anytime you want to have a meal, you want to focus on a really lean meat. So for example, I've got chicken, and I've got a vegetable medley which contains asparagus, some cauliflower, and some peppers in there. And then if you want to mix up your complex carbohydrate source a little bit, you can switch between either sweet potatoes or brown rice. Either one is going to be sufficient for you. And then for the afternoon to dinner time snack, a great option that tastes great and kind of satisfies that sweet tooth that we all have is celeries or apples with peanut butter. Or you can go to your local Health Kick and pick up a protein bar, or you can do any type of meal replacement shake. But you want to get one that's got a good amount of carbs, not just the complex but the simple. That way you have a good balance of energy throughout the day. And so from your evening snack, we're going to go into dinner. And I really want to point out the importance of fish. Fish contain this critical ingredient called fish oils, your EPA and DHA. And pretty much what they do is they maintain cell integrity. You're good for your cardiovascular system, good for your brain. So if you want to make sure that your cells are staying healthy throughout the day and making sure they're staying strong from pathogens, any type of fish is really good for that. And so we've got our vegetables in there. We've got the asparagus, which actually acts as a diuretic, which means it takes water away from your body, which will make you look a little bit thinner. And then, of course, we've got our 2 different types of complex carbohydrate sources that you can choose from. And then when we get into the pre-workout and the post-workout area, this is going to be my favorite part. So the reason why we choose red meat for pre-workout is because it contains an active amino acid called L-arginine. L-arginine turns into nitric oxide, which is responsible for vasodilation, the widening and opening of our arteries and capillaries, allowing more blood flow to go to our muscles. So it's really good before a workout, and of course everything we're trying to do is to make sure our bodies stay healthy and have as much energy and stuff they need to get throughout the day. So we got the L-arginine, we've got the carbohydrate sources for our pre-workout. And the thing about pre-workout meals is you want to take them about 2 to 3 hours before you actually eat. So complex carbohydrates are a lot more imperative in this situation. And then if you ever want to spice up your red meat, you can choose between any of these different types of seasoning. I chose Smoky Rancho, but of course if you want to spice it up, give it some different flavor, you can choose a different one. And then our last one, our post-workout or recovery, we just want to get a good amount of protein, get some leafy greens, get some complex carbohydrates from the corn tortilla, and then of course the simple carbohydrates to recover our body quickly from the fruit. And that, my friends, is how you stay healthy, eat right, lose weight, and gain lean muscle mass at the same time.